Welcome back to another episode of Cobra Kai Companion, and I am Peter.
I am Brianna.
And today we are joined by Rose Bianco, who makes her second return. Hey, Rose.
Hey.
Good morning again.
Hi, Rihanna.
Rose, as I mentioned previously, you are one of the few people that both Brianna and I have met in person.
Yes. So do people know how that happened? Just a couple of years ago during Comic-Con, you guys flew to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you met Ralph and Billy and maybe Solo. Did you?
No, Sholo wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just for those three at the Comic-Con, and
The third being Marty.
Yeah. And we coordinated a meetup with the local actors there.
Right. And I almost didn't make it at all because, as I explained to Peter off camera, my husband was driving and he got lost. But also, it was Comic-Con and there were people everywhere in the streets and we had to drive like molasses. And so I just told him to stop the car and I ran over to the bar and they came out and chatted with me and we took a picture and then I was like, I gotta go. My husband's like over there 2 blocks away on the corner waiting for me.
Yeah.
It's so great to meet you though.
It was lovely to meet you and speak with you. I don't think I even knew you guys were on your way. And I was like one of the last people to get my pictures with like Billy and Ralph and Marty. And as we were standing there thinking about a pose, my phone rings and it's Rose Bianco. I was like, Billy, you want to pick up? And he's like, no, let's just get this photo. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But, got the photo and got to the bar. And I think you had just gotten there right before I did.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, because I had to leave and come back.
I was leaving the bar to go back to the convention because we were kind of breaking up a little bit and I was starving, so I was going to go back and eat something at the convention. And I walked past him in the middle of the crosswalk and he grabbed my arm and spun me around and said, Yaya's coming. So, okay, here we go.
That's funny.
But it was an awesome time. It really was to meet the kids and their moms and you. Luckily, I was so happy that you were able to get there.
I'm so happy I got to meet you too. I mean, yeah, so I do have an agent for appearances so that occasionally maybe on the next Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right.
If they have a Cobra Kai panel, I might be there. If the Diaz family is there, they'll probably ask me to appear. If it's in Atlanta, they might ask me to appear just because I'm here.
It makes sense. I don't know why they wouldn't. As big as Cobra Kai is now, since that last Dragon Con, I don't see why they wouldn't try to get some people together.
Yeah, it would make no sense for them to do another Dragon Con without Cobra Kai. Just no
it was
sense
Dragon Con. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Comic-Con is the big one, and there was a Cobra Kai presence there too. The big one out in San Diego.
Oh,
that was where they got interviewed by Kevin Smith on the boat.
I'm sorry, I don't follow this.
Oh, well, you do know who Kevin Smith is, right?
He is the guy who did Clerks.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, I saw Clerks. I was blown away how great it was, especially on no budget, because my son is a budding filmmaker. He makes films all the time. And, seeing that movie, I think it's an inspiration to people because you get your friend to loan you a location. You get your friends to act in it. I mean, I think he might have had, there was somebody semi-famous, the woman in that movie. But it was just such a good low budget movie. It was really incredible.
And I mean, he would get Ben Affleck and Matt Damon before they were like super famous. I think Dogma is one of the greatest movies ever made. I was raised Catholic, so Dogma is like, it's supposed to be this horrible thing, but I love it. It's just like, wow. It's perfect.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so was Rosario Dawson in that one too?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jay and Silent Bob
got some money to do Dogma based on Clerks.
Oh,
so they
okay.
Some money. Yeah.
And then Alanis Morissette played God.
Yes.
Yeah.
How perfect.
Yes.
How ironic. No.
I know
Okay.
that.
So anyway, what have since I follow you on Instagram, and I remember the day about a year ago you were so happy because you were finally able to put the day job down and be a professional full-time actor. How has that gone since the world ended about 2 months after that happened? How you doing?
Well, so yeah, I didn't really work last year. Now, there's a thing called residuals, which you do get, and it does give you some money, so that's a good thing. Um, I did have to go back to work part time,
Oh,
part time. So from home.
oh,
So
that's good.
that's okay. It's okay. It's a process. It's a process. At least I don't have to go into the office. I mean, right now there are people in that office who continued to go. They were, and I went in a few times, and they were at the beginning. They were like all these like assistants and stuff who just did not wear masks and would pop into my office, and I'd be like, get out, what's wrong with you? I said, I hate this. I'm only gonna go in when nobody's there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
say, why would
yeah,
you want to be
yeah,
around
yeah. But you
anyone?
know what? I'm not sad. Look. Holy crap! Hold on. That's my land phone. It's never anybody. I only have it in case it's 2:00 in the morning and my son has to go to the emergency room or something, and they can call me and I'll hear that.
Oh wow.
That is the purpose of that land phone.
Oh
It
wow.
has no other purpose.
That's a good hack, like a life hack. All right, and we'll I'm looking at a time here, so we'll finish it up with Cobra Kai.
Yes, we got to do Cobra Kai. Yes.
All right.
I mean,
Okay.
that's why she's here. That's that's the show she's on.
Okay. So go ahead and start.
um. Okay, so you actually answered for me a question that I have had since the first episode, Ace Degenerate, which is, what is Rosa's last name? And it's actually been a matter of some contention because Carmen and Miguel's last name is Diaz. So if she was married to his father, then Rosa's name wouldn't be Diaz. But if Rosa's name is Diaz, then that means Carmen went back to her maiden name before Miguel was born.
Well, number one, it seems like, and I've never dissected it that way actually when you think about it, but maybe she was never married to the guy. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, in the Latin community, you keep your maiden name and you just add your husband's name at the end. So so you like refer to yourself as Rosa Diaz, even though her name may be Rosa Diaz de Ortiz, Rosa Diaz Ortiz, Rosa Diaz, whatever, Martinez. But on a day-to-day basis, she would refer to herself as Rosa Diaz anyway. But the child would be Martinez or whatever, So it makes me think that maybe they weren't actually married. And then he left her. And so she just he goes by Diaz.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So she lied to Johnny when she called him her ex-husband.
Oh, well, maybe, no. Maybe, I don't remember.
See, this is
like you guys do.
Yeah,
So it sounds like maybe she divorced the guy. The guy's a bum, and then
there
she
we
makes
go.
her son go
a piece
by
of
her
shit.
maiden.
Yeah.
There you go. And I mean, my wife kept her maiden name, and all the kids have her last name. So, people do different things.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we talk about when we get bored on Twitter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
It's kind of like Harry Potter. I follow a Harry Potter thread on Quora a little bit.
Okay.
And I am shocked at how people know every little thing. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone like that.
So we spoke to you after season 1, and then obviously you came back for season 2. We didn't speak to you then. So season 2, I had some more favorite lines. The one that sticks out is all like, "Oh, too hot for teacher," just because it's like when Yaya says in English, it's like, wait, where did she learn that? So obviously she picks up on some good references. I know it's been a long time, but do you remember if there were any other lines, any other takes, just that sequence of like Johnny coming to pick up Carmen for her date?
No, that was it. Yaya is added to the show in small doses. They usually know what she wants. They know what they want her to say. I don't improvise. The only thing I've ever improvised was the prayer in season 1 at the dinner table, because I just kept going. I just kept talking, and I was cracking myself up basically. And they just used all of it. It was really funny. But generally, they've got the line. I will translate it, and then they use it. And the English, I think that may have been the only English thing, except in season 3 they gave me another real English thing to say, which I was like, oh wow, this is exciting, But I just do it the way they tell me to do it. Nothing's been cut.
My favorite line was from that same scene, and it was as they walk out the door, you go, "Don't knock her up," and Johnny's like, "Thanks."
Don't knock her up.
I thought that was just like the most amazing. I love that Johnny understands nothing that Rosa is saying, and she is making merciless fun of him the entire time. But that she loves him, and you conveyed, because we didn't have subtitles for your lines on YouTube. They never told us what you were saying.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
You and Nestor, when you were speaking Spanish, we had no idea what you were saying if we don't speak Spanish. So you conveyed perfectly, and Peter and I talked about it after the last episode at the hospital, when Carmen is like going off on Johnny, never want to see you again, all of this. And you reach forward and you touch her arm and you say something. And when we did the episode review, Peter was like, do you think that was a don't do this or a don't do this now? And I was like, no, that was a don't do this now. This was a calm down, you love him kind of thing. And you convey what you're saying, I think, so wonderfully, even when we don't understand what you're saying. And the only line we ever got translated was "and I just smoked a joint."
Oh, yeah. I just reached out to Vaz today because I wanted him to help me with something. And I wanted him to help me with something in Spanish. And I watched his scenes because I wanted to say, wait, does Vaz even speak Spanish?
Yep.
So I just saw that. It's a small penis guy, yeah.
Yep. And he tells Johnny and Kreese the crap off. They said something completely inappropriate to him, and he follows him out, and he's screaming at him, cussing at him in Spanish.
Right.
Which they absolutely deserve, 100%, both of them.
Yes, of course. I love Billy and the way that he takes these horrible lines that he has to say, which you think, oh my God, a horrible rednecky thing to say.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? It's so palatable. He just does it in such a laid back way, he's so chill. And that's the secret of his success, I think. And almost like the success of the show, because they're following his journey in a way. Certainly at the very beginning was a lot like that. Right. So he was able to do an everyman, kind of an anti-hero, and he's so perfect at that.
Along the same lines, it's Billy delivering these lines, and Johnny is nothing like Billy. Like, these words would never come out of William Zabka's mouth, and everyone knows it.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
But when he's Johnny, it just flows out so effortlessly. It's like, you forget that William Zabka's in there. He's brilliant. If he doesn't get nominated for an Emmy, I'm just going to riot, and that'll be the end of it. Yeah, just me. I'll be the only one. Riot by myself.
You have my support from over here.
Okay, awesome. What the one English line that they gave you, imploring Johnny to come pray with you at Miguel's bedside while he was in surgery, I think is quite possibly the most powerful single line of the entire first half of the season. I was so glad that they put that in English, because it shows how important it was to Rosa that Johnny understand how badly they needed him.
Yeah.
And the way you delivered it, just you made me bawl. It was so beautiful.
Good.
I'm literally, um, it's like actor sense memory or something, but I got the chills. I'm kind of like almost teary-eyed right this minute.
Me too. Me too.
Because it's such an important thing. I mean, can you imagine your child or your grandchild in a coma and possibly will never walk and with a spinal cord injury and maybe won't wake up, and this is devastating. It's just devastating. So she's really pulling out all the stops, and they tell you that when somebody's in a coma, you talk to them. They're in there. They can hear you. They can sense you, which is why she really needed Johnny to be there, because he really turned, Miguel's life around a little bit, and it was an important part of Miguel's life. So I'm glad they gave me that line too. It was really important. I was shocked at how emotional season 3 was.
Oh God, yes.
For our scenes, anyway.
Yeah.
And
you guys had some powerful stuff, and you threw in the line about the Dodgers, and it was just like, I'm like, oh my God, this is my family. This is gallows humor at the finest. And it was just, oh, you and Vanessa both just like ripped my heart out the whole first half of the season. You were so good. So thank you. I guess.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, when I only get to read my scripts of the things that I'm going to do, I don't know what's going to happen in the whole show. Mm-hmm. So when I saw Allie pop up, I was literally like, oh no.
Oh, I was not alone. I was so mad she was there.
I know.
So on that topic, gotta ask, don't spoil if you know, obviously, but just based off what we saw on the screen, what do you think that Rosa's gonna think about her beautiful, proper, so calm and wonderful daughter slamming Johnny Lawrence against a wall and knocking his TV off?
That was a funny scene. I'm literally going, I'm watching that saying, oh, Veunnasack. What? She doesn't know. She doesn't know what's going on back there. I think she likes the idea of them being together, but she doesn't know if they're together. I suspect that she doesn't know. So I don't know. What would I say? I probably would laugh because, Rosa's very down to earth.
She is.
Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, I'm a grown up. I can take it.
Right?
I don't think she thinks it's anything unusual, but I don't know. I've got to make up stuff when I'm not on the scene,
Right. Right. And you can't tell us if you know. So there's a whole, muddy waters, and I'll stop asking anything even remotely resembling season 4. We don't even know where you are right now. Do we, Peter?
Nope.
We have no idea who's in Atlanta.
I'm in a bunker. Well, first of all, I live in Atlanta, Brianna.
Oh, that's true.
And actually, I have another part-time job, which I have to go to at noon because I need to make money because COVID is not letting me work.
Right.
So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. He busted somebody out a couple of interviews ago, so that's what I was telling. Don't say it. Yeah.
Okay, well, as we get ready to wrap up here, I believe you still have some things that are scheduled to come out. Anything that you're able to share with that people can kind of keep an eye on?
The only thing that's coming out, I think everything that I did in 2019 has come out except the Tomorrow War. The Tomorrow War is a Chris Pratt movie, and it's supposed to come out this year in July. So that's going to be great. I have a really good role in that, and I'm excited to see that. I'm very excited to see that. We'll see, because I I got to work a lot on the set, but I don't really have a lot of lines. I had like maybe 2 lines, But anyway, so we'll see how that comes out. And then I did do Red Notice last year. I worked once last year when productions were starting to explore the protocols. The union put out what the protocol should be. And this is a Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds movie. So I'm also have a very small role, But for that very small role that only shot in 1 day, I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So I got paid for 2 weeks. So that
Oh, wow. I would quarantine for 2 weeks to meet Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. I mean,
I didn't get to meet them for real.
Aww.
I mean, it's their movie, but no, it's not. I didn't meet them.
I have just one last question before we're done. Another thing I have always wondered, and I keep searching the background, are there, and this is strictly because I was raised Catholic, so I know what the inside of a Catholic house usually looks like. Do the Diaz's have any icons of the Virgin Mary or the crucifixes or any of that hanging around? Are they Catholic?
That's a terrible question because I don't remember.
Oh.
Sorry. You know what? They are Catholic.
They are?
First of all, I have a cross that I have to wear.
That's true. And they do the sign of the cross at the end of the dinner prayer,
yes,
too.
And look, see, Catholic people wear crosses.
Yes. Yes, we do. Okay. All right. I've always wondered because that just seemed like something, that would make sense coming from Ecuador and Catholicism being so big.
Yes.
In the Latino community.
I mean, I knew it. I just had to think about it because I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, of course they're Catholic because that's how I've been playing it. The whole prayer,
right.
The cross, always wearing the cross. I think there is some iconography on the set, but I'm like literally in my head, I'm going, what's in the living room? What's on the tables? They have some pictures of me on the set. They made me send me pictures of myself in the first season. I just had to find pictures of myself, young and old. And I think the one where I was in the Facebook with Cholo, I think I sent them a picture and they superimposed it. So it was the 2 of us. And they put that on Facebook. So, I mean, and pretend Facebook on the show.
Right.
Yeah. I said that was the one apartment they wouldn't let us into.
Right.
So...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because we were right there, and I got to explore Johnny's, apartment just fine. Bedroom, bathroom,
underwear drawer,
sit in his couch, but
they do a very thorough job of setting everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what it was. Maybe that it was like a hot set, because we were there days before, you guys started filming. Because even like in the LaRusso's house, they said no pictures, but we did walk through it.
Yeah, no pictures in the LaRusso house because they already had the lighting and everything staged for the first scene that they filmed in there. So, yeah, Hayden was like right with us the whole time.
I saw a couple of years ago when you posted those pictures where you got to be in the back of Daniel's house, his backyard with his whole Zen garden back there or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought, I didn't get to see that. How did you get in?
You've never been in the backyard?
I have never been in the Danielson's backyard because I only saw it on TV, but I saw it in Peter's pictures on Facebook or whatever, or on Instagram.
Well, Jeff found his way back there by himself.
Obviously they let you on, but I think there's a picture of you and Hayden or something.
Yeah. And then it's so, because you're not the first person who said, oh, I was never there, or I was never in this place, because everything's so close together. Yeah. It just kind of boggles my mind that they don't let you go across to where that is.
No, it's not that they don't let you. I just don't walk around exploring, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, I go from my trailer to the set, which is that great big cement building. And then I sit in the green room area that they've set up for us. And I get wired, And then okay, so the stand-ins are doing our thing while they light it, and we're just sitting there talking. And then they go, okay, first team, and we go on. Then we do our scene a bunch of times, and then we go sit down in those chairs again. I go to the bathroom, we go to Crafty, but I don't wander around, and maybe I should.
I think so.
Jesse obviously got in, and I mean, he's a big bully. He don't belong, but he did own the car, so I guess
When during our meetup, I showed some of the other the kids, the cast, and their moms were like, we haven't even been there. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, it's always kind of mind-boggling when people said they haven't seen a certain set. It's like, but you work on the show. But I guess we never think about it, that you guys are kind of you have places where you have to be at certain times and stuff too. So
right, we always have to be findable.
Yeah.
On all sets, because I'm old.
You are not.
I have to constantly pee. So I always have to say, I'm going to the bathroom. I have to tell the PAs where I'm going.
Oh, wow. So you couldn't just like a D-mic and go wandering around Mr. Miyagi's backyard anyway. You would be in like serious trouble.
Just generally, I don't. The only time I did anything like that actually was on WandaVision, because it was fascinating. The set where they live, Vision and Wanda, the inside of the set. Actually, the director invited me to go in and look at it, because he was saying this is like the Brady Bunch set or something like that. I was like walking around and just going, oh my God, this is so cool. So, that was a real interesting set. Super interesting. They let me do it. But normally I don't wander around. Sorry.
I am of the opinion that everyone who has the ability to set foot in that backyard and stand in front of that picture of Mr. Miyagi should absolutely do so. Okay. Just because just walking in and brought us all to tears because of where we were. It's just like the most astounding, even though the original, was in Cuyahoga Park, literally a quarter of the world away. It feels like you're walking into it. They did such a fantastic job of rebuilding it. It's wonderful.
Okay, I think I need to go.
Yes, we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much. I am sorry for all the technical difficulties, but we got a podcast out of it. So thank you so very, very much.
Thank you for having me, as they say. It was a pleasure to see you, Peter. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise, always a pleasure. Yeah, we'll definitely talk again at some point. So. You go to your day job, and we hope to see Yaya in season 4 if she returns.
Yep, absolutely. We love you.
Cross your fingers.
Yes.
Ciao.
Bye.
Hey.